Guys, today we're going to be doing the analysis tab. We're going to be doing the weights of our items, the lengths, the diameters. We're going to be doing all of those things, and we're also going to be doing our model menu, and we're also going to be doing model properties menu. I'm going to show you guys some densities and how to calculate the weight of your item once you've done the drawing. So stick around. There are some things that I'll show you that's going to make life a lot easier. So try and watch to the end if you can, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Cheers. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your video. I just wanted to ask you, please hit the like and subscribe button. It's going to make it easier for me to share my content with you guys in the future, and it will make it so that you don't miss anything. Cool. We're going to start today with analysis. So obviously your analysis tab, measure, distance. So this one is going to give you the distance between any 2 points. So if I select there and I hold control and I select there, it will give me the actual distance between the 2 points. Or if I select there, it will give me the distance between those 2 points. Or if I select the center here, it will give me the distance between those points. So distance is literally the distance between 2 points. You can actually see, it'll give you distance between any 2 points in a straight line. Yeah, as you can see, they're not straight line with the model, but in a straight, the shortest distance between the two. So that's your distance feature. Very simple to use, basic. It's just your measuring tool, as always. Then if you go back to your analysis key, we're going to go to length. So this will actually give you the length of a curvature. So instead of now calculating what that distance is in a running meter sort of sense, not in a direct distance, you're gonna click there and it will give you 966. So that is, if you take that line and you straighten it out, that's the length that's going to be used. So this is a nice feature when you want to calculate something like the amount of steel strip you would need for a certain size and shape of tubing when it rolls through a tube mill. Anything where you need to sort of calculate the distance of an edge, so the total distance of an item. So there, that would be 237, and then this one would be 299, and then I would click that one, 73, and then there 87, and then 87 again, 14, 61, and then if I click this one, 600. So that'll give me the total distance from that point right around on that line. Okay, so that's our distance, our length feature. So then the next one, angle, pretty obvious. If I select this face, control, and I select that face, it'll give me the actual angle of the two from each other. Again, very easy, very simple, basic, but that is what it is. So if you need to check the angle of something, that's where you'll find it. You can select 360 or 180. It won't change now because it's not a weird size. If it was past 180, you could either give it the 180 dimension, which would be, say, 10 mils past that, or it would be 190 whatever in the 360. So those are your two different options on that one. Then again, analysis area, again, it's exactly what it says. If I select the surface, it will give me the surface area of that part. So this is obviously excluding this piece here. So that is 73,830 millimeters squared, because this is quite a big part, but that's it. Then if I click there, it'll give me the surface area of that one again. No matter what the shape, no matter what the size, it will give you the exact surface area. Okay, so that's our surface area. The next one we're going to do is your volume. So this gives you the amount of volume that this part takes up. So yeah, this would be in cubic millimeters. So sure, that's 29,785,882 cubic millimeters. Again, this is because this is quite a big part. It doesn't look big on the screen, but if you check the measurements, I mean, if I go measure here now, if I use our distance tool and I just measure this block, for instance, it's 110 mils, just that block. So I mean, if that's 110, this is huge. So the next one we're gonna go is your diameter. So obviously you know what diameter is, so it's going to check the diameter of that circle. It's 410. This one's going to be 142. So again, you just click the feature, you click on the round, and it will give you the diameter. Now again, be careful, this is diameter, and if you want the distance, so the length of the actual curve is that one there. So there's two, obviously one will give you the diameter across this way, and one will give you the distance from point 1 to point 2. So just be careful when you select it so that you get the right information. So then next one on analysis is going to be your X transform, which, yeah, if anybody can tell me what that actually does, I would greatly appreciate it, because I've been trying to figure it out for quite a long time. It's got something to do with your datum points, but if I figure it out, I'll add it for you guys at a later stage. But at this point, I actually have no clue what that is, so I apologize about that. But I doubt you'll be using it anyway. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to move on to is model. So the first one in model on your analysis tab is mass properties. So as you can see now, yeah, it asks me the density, so I can put the density in here. So for instance, steel is 7.8. Okay, so I'll put that in there. It's gonna give me 7.8, and I'm gonna click on this the little glasses here, and it's gonna calculate for me the volume of the part in cubic millimeters, as you can see there, the surface area the surface area, the density that I've just put in, and then the mass. So this part weighs 2.32 kilograms. Then it also gives you your center of gravity. So if I rotate this, because we've got this piece missing here, that there is actually the center of your gravity. That one, not this one. This is the center of your model. That's the center of your gravity. So if you have a part that's offset like that and you need to hang it in the center of gravity, that is your point there, not this one. So please be wary of that. Just be careful. Bear that in mind. If you're doing anything that needs to be offset with weight and so on, just check that out. And then it'll also give you a few other technical terms here, but I don't think you guys will be looking at that quite yet, as this is the beginner series, so we won't be talking about that at all. Now, just something I want to show you guys, so we're just going to break away from the analysis tab for 2 seconds, is if I wanted to do this and I wasn't sure what the density is for the mass. Okay, I'm going to open another menu now. So we're going to go through the other menu quickly, and then we'll shoot back to analysis. So if I want to change the density of this part now, all I have to do is go File, Properties. Okay, then it brings up my model properties, which is also quite a nice little tab. So yeah, you can see material, so I can go change there. Then it's got a bunch of preset items here. So we were working with steel, so all I'm going to do is click on steel, and I'm going to click on this little arrow here, and there it will give the density of that item to your model. So I'm going to say okay, and then look, there is another way to change it. You can always change our mass properties. You can change, you can enter your own density as well. So instead of entering it there on the other menu, you can enter it here. But this is if you know the density. If you know the density, that's this one. you don't know the density, you can use this one. Okay, and then again, while we're here, this is also quite a nice little feature here. So if you're drawing your model in imperial, meaning you need inches, millimeters, all you have to do is come to this menu, so model properties. It's now in millimeters, kilograms, and seconds. I can just click change. Then it will give me all the different ones: foot pound, inch pound, inch pound. Okay, then if I change this now, so if I go to pound and I go set, okay, it's going to ask me to convert. Am I converting 1 inch to 25.4 millimeters? Meaning, are my millimeters then going to get divided, because I'm going from millimeters to inches, obviously, so it's a little bit back to front now. But am I going from 25 millimeters to 1 inch? So it's going to divide the sizes by 25.4 and give you the inch diameters and lengths. Or am I going to interpret 1 millimeter as 1 inch? So that's where you must just be careful if you use this, because obviously if you're going to use 1 millimeter as 1 inch, it's going to scale the model up by 25.4 times. And if you're going to convert 1 inch to 25.4, it's going to, the scale of your model is going to stay exactly the same, but your dimensions will change. Okay, so just be very careful when you guys do this, because it can mess you around quite a bit if you don't do it the right way or the way you want to do it. It's doable to get it back, but it's a bit of a mission, a bit of back and forth. Then your accuracy, sometimes if you're working with something with very, very small tolerances, you can change this accuracy to say 0.001, and then it will help you. It won't give you errors if you're trying to do very small tolerances on an item. So those are your material specs there. So that's your model properties, and like I said, that's quite a nice little added section that I've done here for you guys, because this is quite helpful in the sense of if you need to change scales, if you need to change accuracy, and obviously where we were, the mass properties and the density. So again, this one you can choose a material and it will give you density. This one you're going to enter your density and it will go there. Then in saying that, now I'm going to go back here now and I'm going to say mass properties, and see that it's already put in its own. If you go back in the video, you'll see this was 0.2 something. So now that is your mass now, the correct mass for steel. So now if I click, it will give me the correct mass. See, 2.33 kilograms. Okay, I was a little bit out, but I mean 7.8 and 7.83, yeah, just depends. So again, that's how you get your mass, your surface area, your density, and your volume all at once. That's the simplest one. Okay, then if you go analysis, we go model. The next one you're going to find is going to be your X section mass properties. So it's the same as your mass properties, except it's only going to give you the cross section weight. So if I turn this now and I do this, okay, now it's giving me this cross section's weight only. So, and the area, as you can see, so it's giving me that area there of the cross section. Again, it's giving me the same center of gravity there, depending on your part, and your inertia, and okay. So it will only give you the weight of a selected cross section. Okay. Now, the next one we're going to do, we're going to go analysis again. We're going to model. We're going to go pairs clearance. So on this one, we actually need our other model here. So this is quite a nice one for your sheet metal items. Okay, if you want to see the clearance between your sheet metal parts, pairs clearance. So for instance, now this bend here. Okay, now I want to see, is there actual, like, is there a gap there? Because I might not be able to see it, and there might be a gap there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click, obviously, on that surface there as surface 1. And then I'm going to click on the edge of this one there. And as you can see, it says clearance 0. But now, if I go up here, okay, to this one for instance, and I'm going to click on that. Let me just refresh this. I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to click on this one. See, that's got a 4.24 clearance distance between the two sides, or the two edges. So then you can measure your sheet metal spacing to make sure you're not going to have an issue where it overlaps or that it actually clashes with each other. So that's a nice little one for the sheet metal. Then the next one we're going to do is your short edge analysis. Okay, so the nice thing about this is going to give you your very small edges that are too short to manufacture or could cause flat pattern issues. So all we're going to do is we're going to say analyze, and this is going to spit out your two little edges here, which it says here is shorter than 16.69 millimeters. So essentially it's giving you the smallest tolerances on your model that you can now see, okay, is that going to be a problem? Isn't it going to be a problem? If 16.69 is not a problem, then you don't have to worry about it, but it's an easy way to see if there are any edges that's going to give you a hard time. So that's yeah, it's very helpful. Nice little tool that as well. Then we're going to go to edge type. Okay, then as you can see, if I click here, it's going to tell me it's a line, and then if you click there, it's going to tell me it's an arc. So this is very helpful to analyze what your actual sections are. It's also helpful on your bent items to give you ripped edges, to give you bent edges. It'll tell you all those things. So you can actually see if that is a bend or if it's a solid, and then you can also see if it's a ripped edge on your sheet metal or if it's an actual as if someone's drawn it like that. So that's quite a nice one. You can also see if it's a relief edge or an extruded edge. So it's more for sheet metal, that one, but it is quite nice. Now thickness, this is quite an interesting one. Actually I want to show you guys on the other model, because this is quite a nice look. It's quite helpful if you know what you're doing, if you know what you want. This can help actually create a lot of save you a lot of time. So if I now want to know how much the surface length is of our profile, you'll see now what I'm actually trying to say. If I click on this, it actually gives me, as you can see, these red lines. Okay, so now this is running a line from this point right along all the way over, okay, all the way back down and all the way back to that point again where it started. So it's giving you basically the full distance of, if you had to, how can I say this, if you had to turn it inside out, it'll give you that full distance. So if you're trying to calculate something like the amount of coating you're going to need, this will give you the length, as you can see there, 3,318 millimeters. That's what it is that way. And then again, if you want to do it the other way, same thing, you click there and it'll give you that distance. So then you can accurately calculate the surface area of item you're trying to coat, because it will give you the size inside and outside, so you don't have to multiply by 2 plus the edge plus. So this is also quite a nice little feature that you can use. Very, very helpful. Or I find it helpful anyway. So that's the thickness tab. Yeah, so that is your analysis tab, the first two steps there. Geometry we're not going to go into now, but yeah, that's the analysis tab. The first two to help you get your weights and your distances and all your edges and so on figured out. And then also that is also your model properties that I was talking about for you guys. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this is going to help you guys do your work faster and easier. And I hope you guys watch the rest of the videos. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, quick favor. If this video helped you, tap like. It tells YouTube my content is worth showing to more people. And hit subscribe if you want more quick tutorials, tips and real engineering tricks for Creo. More videos dropping every week. Have a great one, guys.